Okay, Chelsea fans, it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year. I cannot lie to you. To be fair, it got rough quite quickly, so I feel like you're accustomed to where you're at now. It's not you've not fallen off a cliff recently. You fell off a cliff a while ago, and you're just kind of accustomed to where you are. However, light at the end of the tunnel. One of the kind of better, I'd say, more talented coaches in the world of football at the moment, Mauricio Pochettino, is likely going to be your new manager, signing contracts in the next few days, deal supposedly until 2026. A new striker in the offing, whether that's a returning Romelu Lukaku or a player being signed, a new central midfielder in the offing as well coming in for Chelsea. James, your initial thoughts about a guy who did so well. Let's not get it twisted. And as much as you're an Arsenal fan, I do want to defend Pochettino. Did unbelievably well in what he was able to do with this Tottenham Hotspur team. Never quite got them over the line. Bit of a tough time at Paris Saint-Germain. Coming back to London with Chelsea, this young, exciting squad. As an Arsenal fan, what's the fear level here? Are Chelsea going to be back with this guy, or is it going to just be another Graham Potter, end of Tuchel, Frank Lampard continuation?
In terms of you, Pochettino as a coach, phenomenal, phenomenal coach. He understands the way he loves thing about it, a high press. You know what, and like the way he also knows how to develop players. Jack, you've seen the way he was able to develop players like Christian Eriksen, Harry Kane to a certain point, bring in players like Dele Alli, Jan Batonga, Toby Alderweireld. What he did with that Tottenham team was incredible, especially that final year at White Hart Lane. Superb. The football he had them playing, the silky stuff there. As a coach, Jack, unbelievable. Have no
Yes.
problems with it. My biggest issue with a Pochettino-led team is just getting his foot over the line, dealing
Right.
with big characters. And Jack, let's be truthfully honest, Chelsea as an overall team, they've been spoiled over the years. Here's a team who've seen their team win 5 Premier League titles. You've seen them win 2 Champions League, UEFA Cups. Europa League, Club World Cup, Super Cups. They've won it all. They're used to a certain type of wave. Like it's a bit like a female who's used to the higher caliber of life. The dinings, the wining and dinings of this world. And now they're gonna settle in with a guy who's a little bit more conservative. Don't have the money, don't have the caliber of the men that they were with before. And that's what and think about this, what it feels like. And will Chelsea be willing to be patient with him? Will the fans be willing to be patient with him? Is to me the biggest question, because they are used to a certain type of way. They're used
Yeah.
to a rootless sort of man, Antonio Conte, Ancelotti, Jose. Think about it, Jose Mourinho, who come in with this swagger, this belief that we are going to win. While Pochettino is coming in to a situation here and almost like, I'm here to help this team get better. Are Chelsea willing to listen and be patient? I don't know. In looking at the guy's track record, you can't say this guy's a winner. You know,
Well,
do they have? Jack, we
it's
have to be
it's
honest here.
you're right, and I think fair enough. But I think if you were defending him, he won Liga, right? Good managers with this Paris Saint-Germain squad, basically in the kind of quality level that it's in now, have lost this league before. He won that league with those egos, let's be clear. Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, these guys, right? He was capable of doing that. Now, I know you and I both know that I think if you and I had a bit of skin in the game, we might be able to manage this PSG team to a title. We just probably let them go and play, and they'd probably do something like that. To me, I know that doesn't fully make up for it, but I think he has at least proven there are wins on his resume somewhere.
Jack, the one thing I would say about them Ligue 1 wins is that Jack's first season at PSG, granted it wasn't a full season at PSG, Jack, they lost the league to Lille.
Right.
They lost to PSG, Neymar, Mbappe. They lost the league to Lille, Jack. And
Yeah.
then Jack, the second season, granted they won the league, but Jack, they did not get a win against a top 10 team away from home. And a
Right.
lot of PSG fans look back at that season and find it probably one of their worst, like overall, pro- like probably one of their worst title wins overall, Jack. So
Right.
granted, yes, he did win there, but you ask a lot of PSG fans, they don't look back at that title win and think, oh, We were great.
Wow.
Like we
Right.
played some great stuff there. There was a lot of we're just getting by because of our name and like who we are as like as a team.
I would just say definitively though, he's won. Right. We don't have this. There isn't that thing hanging over him where he's not won a cup. He's not won a league. He's done both of those things. Right. He has. Now, again, you said you apply context, you apply environment. Well, he probably should have really won two leagues, and he probably should
Hmm.
have won a couple more domestic cups. And he even the one he did win, he probably should have won by more. But what I look at, James, is a bunch of young, expensive, talented kids that Chelsea have accrued more than any other team in world football. Chelsea have gone at it for players 22 and younger with serious talent and very, very high ceilings. I can't think of many guys better than Mauricio Pochettino for these young guys. The issue will be I have no problem saying that I think Pochettino is capable of making Chelsea a top four team. It's Chelsea. Is top four good enough? No. And James, this is where Chelsea fans lose a little bit of a reality check, in my opinion. Right. Are Chelsea a top four team? Yes, they are. Are they a
100%.
title winning team in the current era with Manchester City, etc., etc.? No, they're not. Right. They are just like the other teams who are in and around in that kind of tier below Man City who should be fighting for their top four place. But we know the fan base and we know the ownership are not going to accept that. So again, I expect a good season from Chelsea, fighting for top four, maybe finish fourth or third. If they have a great year, maybe they finish second. But if that continues to happen for 2 years and then for 3 years, is the fan base going to get a little itchy and say, you know what, I think we need somebody to come in here and get us over the line? That's
Um,
the only thing that concerns me. I think it's a good hire. I think Nagelsmann was a risk. I would have loved to see Luis Enrique, but they couldn't agree on the deal. So for me, I have reservations. I think it's safe is the word I would use.
um, the one thing I would say, Jack, to you mentioned with Pochettino, and the big credit to him. I think his overall personality with certain players. Now, maybe not the big characters. I don't know how well he did with like PSG dealing with all the amigos. But to be fair, any manager will struggle dealing with all the amigos there. But you know how beloved he was under Tottenham and how he's able, Jack, to develop these players. I'm going to mention a few players I think that may thrive under Pochettino next season. Is a player like Sterling, maybe. Will he think about it? Will he get back to his best? I can see it. And Enzo, to me, and Enzo Fernandez, you've seen what he was able to do with a player like Ericsson there. To me, I think Enzo Fernandez could be a base to this team. A player that has been out of sight, out of mind for a lot of Chelsea fans is Romelu Lukaku. People still forget that he is a Chelsea player, and I honestly do believe that Poch can ask him, put his arm around him, and get him on board and get him playing for Chelsea again. Because people, Jack, the striker market is actually it's not as lauded at what is like what it used to be. Yes, there's a couple few here or there,
There's a
but
couple
as
guys in there, yeah.
but as you say, when you sign them for the amount of money that like you want, you take a lot of risk. You've seen that
Right.
with Nunez, when he joined Liverpool. Lukaku is a proven Premier League, just a proven not Premier League, just a proven goal scorer at the highest level.
International,
Yeah,
yeah.
in international all-time leading goal scorer for Belgium. I believe that if he can get him on board, Jack, he can. I mentioned Enzo Lukaku can be the base to seeing Chelsea be successful next season.
Well,
It's
James,
just about to me a manager's getting him on board and playing through him.
Mudrik, Noni Madueke, James, Kai Havertz in a way kind of reminds
Oh,
me a little bit
I don't know
of
about the Kai
Deli
Havertz
Ali.
thing, Jack.
Sorry.
I don't know about it because he's frustrating me to the bone. But you mentioned
Well,
the Deli Ali. No, no, you mentioned the Deli Ali thing.
but but
No, no, no.
it,
That's a good comparison there.
he's
You
a
know.
tweener. He's a tweener, right? Is what we'd call him. He's a 9.5 or whatever the joke is, right? If he plays as a 10, it's a bit and the kind of modern 10 doesn't really exist like it used to maybe 10 years ago. He's not really an out and out number nine, not going to be prolific enough or good enough with his body to do that. But we saw a guy kind of like that. He's fallen off a cliff now, but Deli Ali was that guy. Can he get the best out of Kai Havertz? James, I think everyone's forgetting that Christopher Nkunku is going to start coming into this Chelsea team as well.
Yeah.
He's going to be
Mhm.
all action and all over the place. Again, those two wing players, Madueke and Mudryk, I think it's very exciting. If you can get the best out of Lukaku, get the best out of Havertz, get the best out of Nkunku, get the best out of Enzo Fernandez, your midfield and strikers are basically set up for you as you go in. Get Ziyech out of there, get Pulisic out of there. The wing backs, we know what they're capable of. And James, in Badiashile, in Fafana, right, these kinds of guys, there's talent across the team. Maybe the goalkeeper position needs to be sorted out, but apart from that, there's upside here.
And Jack, the biggest thing with football is that it's not as bad as you make it out to be.
No,
Things can be changed in an instance. We see that with Manchester United. We knew how poor Manchester United were a few seasons ago. Look how well they are this season, but they could miss out on top four. But like you've seen the change. This Chelsea team is as awful as they like Jack they've been. There's still a good basis to work with there. And Jack, if you're a man, you may say, "Oh, you don't want to go into the dressing room." Look, there's talent there. With a year to work with Jack, work with a good preseason, not bad. We could seriously do something, you know?
and James talking about Fabrizio Romano, right? A new midfielder signed as well, a new striker signed as well. Okay, is there going to be money there and temptation for Harry Kane to reunite with Pochettino? Now, I doubt he would go to Chelsea. I think that's kind of career suicide in a way, but maybe he doesn't care. Again, the midfield spot as well. Is Pochettino going to be able to fill a gap that he can see as well? There's definitely reasons to be optimistic here for get back up to that, James, you're like this, B plus player level, right? But
uh,
is Pochettino the guy to deliver the A star that the Chelsea ownership and fan base want? I have my reservations. That's all. Against Pep Guardiola, against an up and coming Newcastle United, Arsenal if they invest, Manchester United under new ownership, Liverpool maybe back, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. I don't know if Pochettino is your leader into that fight.
but guys, let us know here. First of all, I like the B plus player thing. Big up that Daniel Bryan in
For those who know,
WWE for that one. But guys, let us know. Will Pochettino be a success at Chelsea? Who's he gonna bring in? Will Harry Kane join them? Let us know, guys. Comment down below, Chelsea fans. We want to hear from you. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. And we will see you next time.